sharing your morning with us. Well, as you may have noticed, the housing market has been red hot during the pandemic, but is it about to cool off? With us now, real estate agent Jennifer Havel with Keller Williams. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So, Jen, I know you've been in real estate for a while. Have you ever seen the market as crazy as it's been over the past 2 years?
No, this has been the absolute wildest roller coaster in real estate ever. 2020, as we all know, interest rates were insanely low. They were down in the 1%. We were also at the shutdown too. So everybody, I had tons of buyers. Everything was highest and best. Things are still that crazy. The interest rates are higher now, but I'm really not seeing that much of a slowdown. It's insane. I've never seen it like this.
So is it still just the lack of inventory that's kind of fueling this, or is it also because the pandemic, people are changing how they live?
I think it's a lot of all of the above. I think when interest rates dropped, everybody thought, okay, either refinance, get that extra money, put it into my home, or hey, I didn't really want to move, but I've been cooped up. Let's get out of here. Let's move. Let's have a change. It's still a little crazy, even with interest rates up into the 5s and 6s. It still is the seller's market. It's not slowing down a ton. It's starting to taper off a little bit, I think, but it's still pretty wild.
And so, like you were saying, it's a seller's market because they're getting crazy numbers for the houses in my neighborhood. And so I keep saying to my husband, let's sell. But then it's like, well, you have to live somewhere. So if you have to buy, it may not be good to sell.
Exactly. Like I've even considered selling my own home, but then sure, by the time I pay off my mortgage and make all that extra money with highest and best, where am I going to go? Like I'm going to take all that extra money and turn around and go highest and best in another home. And it's not reasonable for me. So
with that, I know that part of the issue was the inventory was so low because of the pandemic, things weren't being built. Is that starting to change now? Because I'm not hearing anything about the really high lumber prices like we did for a while.
So about a month ago, I was looking at new construction for a potential client, and the price of new construction is almost $300 a square foot. So and considering that it's really hard to find contractors right now, it's not just lumber. The cost of cement, the cost of materials, supplies, everything is 4 times what it was even just before the pandemic.
So what are you recommending to your clients right now?
So I'm recommending to my clients on both the buy and the sell side. So if you're getting ready to list your home, I always just kind of say, do the necessary precautions. You know, you might want to just have your home inspected. Just make sure that the appliances are working, the furnace is working, air conditioner, things like that. Just the basics to cover it. Your house is obviously going to sell itself, but from a buyer standpoint, if it's not only highest and best, but you need to come in with a lot of skin in the game. So if you want this house, now is not the time to ask for contingencies and ask for a long closing period. Make sure that you have a great lender that you're working with who not just has you pre-approved, but has already run all your income, your assets, make sure you have all of that down so that when you're prepared and you're ready to make that offer, that you are solid, that you have your foot in the door with this. We are seeing, and we have seen for the last 2 years or so, appraisal guarantees. So what you're telling the seller is that I want your house bad enough that I'm willing to promise you that if the home doesn't appraise, I'm not walking away. So I'm willing to throw in another $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, whatever it may be, to guarantee them that if this doesn't appraise, I will come up with the extra funds to make up for that gap.
Wow. Some of these stories have been crazy, right?
And not just promise them, okay, here's my extra $20,000. Should this appraisal come in low, here's my proof of funds showing that I have this cash in an account that guarantees, I am good for it. So those are some strong aspects and points to have when making a solid offer.
So I know the Federal Reserve just increased the interest rates yet again, the largest hike since 1994. How do you think that's going to impact the market?
Well, it's good and bad. So there's a couple things right now. In fact, I just had a big meeting with one of my partner financial companies last week, and they are offering some assistance programs for help with down payment because the interest rates are spiking. The other thing too is that, okay, get locked in now. I mean, because they're only going to go up. So if you think that it's bad at 6 or 6.5 or whatever you have, get that locked in because it's only going to increase. You can always refinance down the road, but who's to say they are going to increase, decrease? We don't know. So my best advice right now is that if you're considering buying a home, talk to your lender, talk to your bank, do whatever you have to do, get locked in on an interest rate today.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Don't wait.
Don't wait. Do not wait. The other thing that a lot of people are doing and have been doing is they are all cash buyers. So we always say in real estate that cash is king, right? So people are pulling money out of retirement accounts, whatever they can do. Hopefully, I always advise my buyers, don't pull it off something that you're going to get taxed on, but they're pulling money out to just pay cash instead of dealing with these high interest rates.
You know, I know that before the market got so crazy, it was all about if you were buying to stage your house, maybe renovate the bathroom, the kitchen, because you would get more money for your house in that way. Do you have to do that now or no?
No, all of the buyers that I've had, I'll use one house for an example that I sold about 6 months ago, and it was the original owners of the home. It was built in '68, beautiful home, very gorgeous home, just very outdated. The family that came in, I had multiple offers on this. I had about 14 offers that were well above listing on it. They did not care. They were going through, they already had contractors, they were lining up to put new carpet in, redo the hardwood floors, new appliances. I have not used a staging company or staged a home since pre-COVID. The house, with the market and it being a seller's market, I haven't really had to do anything. The homes just sell themselves, fortunately.
So if you had a magic 8-ball and you were shaking it right now, any predictions for this market going forward?
Oh God. Well, my predictions right now are interest rates are going to continue to rise. So like I said, my best advice right now is that if you're considering buying a home, lock that interest rate in today. It's not going to get any better anytime soon, I don't think, with these rates. The 1%, 2%, 3% that we were seeing 2 years ago, a year and a half, those days are over.
Wow. So what's the scene look like too for contractors? Because, you know, so many people are buying the houses, like you said, that need to be renovated. But I know we've been trying to get people in and they're still backed up.
They are completely backed up, and it's kind of like you are at the contractor's mercy, whether it's construction, granite flooring, any of that paint. Just even painters alone are so backed up, and it's kind of a great market for them because you need them just as much as they need you, but they are so backed up. And then with the cost of supplies, everything being kind of delayed or on a hold or a standstill, so you're kind of at their mercy right now. So
with that, Jen, can I tell you before we say goodbye to you, any tips that you have for people, or just jump on it?
Just get on it today. If you're going to make an offer on a house, make sure that it is solid. Don't ask for contingencies. I don't ever suggest to people to ever waive a home inspection because that's your time. But do a quick inspection. If you have any money to do towards an appraisal guarantee, throw that in, do a quick closing, make sure you have a good lender, and and pray.
Because I was kind of like, maybe I'll just buy a mobile home and sell the house, make a lot of money, get a mobile home until the market stabilizes. But
well, and if you'd like to do that, you know who to call. Call me.
Thank you so much. Hey, how can people contact you if they're thinking about buying or selling?
Okay, so my name is Jennifer Havel. I'm with Keller Williams Showcase out of Commerce. My cell phone number is 586-219-3868. You can also Google me. I'm on Zillow, Realtor. I 586-219-3868. That is my cell. I am available 24 hours a day.
So, and can I ask, before we say goodbye though, I know that you sell a lot of houses right here in our neighborhood. Are there certain neighbors that are hotter than others, or it just doesn't matter? So
where we live, and then out towards, so I do a lot of business in our area where you and I live. I also do a lot in Commerce, West Bloomfield, Farmington, Livonia is a very hot market. I've sold in everywhere in Wayne County, Oakland, Macomb. I've gone as far as Port Huron. I've sold out in Lansing. There are certain areas where it's more investor type areas, where it's more of a, we'll say the outskirts of where we live. But it's those are some pretty hot areas.
Huh. Well, if you find a little piece of land on the water that I could put a tiny house, let me know.
Okay, well, I have one right around the corner for me, so give me a call and we'll go look at it.
There you go. Jen, thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. Hey, as always, we want to let you know that each week we like to highlight someone from the greater West Bloomfield community going above and beyond to improve our little corner of the world. Show your gratitude, tell us about them. We made it easy. Scan the QR code on the screen and fill out the Google form with the person's contact info and why you think they should be recognized. It could be a person, business, or an organization. Suzanne Levine last week suggested it could be your pet as well. I'm going to get her pet up here. You can also find the form by going to civiccentertv.com. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine. To keep safe and strong. Be happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Taking a quick look at things happening around town, you can find Escape from the Heat at the library. It is the place to be, one of my favorite places. And on June 23rd, they have a special program, Life in the Sea. Learn all about what is under the ocean surface. It's recommended for ages kindergarten to 5th grade. You do need to be a West Bloomfield Library card holder. Hey, if you want to get the kiddos moving and grooving, be sure to add Kids Commotion to your calendar. The free summer concert is happening at Marshbank Park on Hiller Road this Thursday. A little bit different. A lot of times they're in the evenings, but this time it's going to be in the day, starting at 10, and then the music starts at 11. It is live music, free inflatables. It's a family fun event. Be sure to bring your blanket as well as your lawn chairs. Hey, did you forget to pack your lunch today? No worries, because you know what? It's Food Truck Tuesday. Hosted by the West Bloomfield Parks Department, Cousins Maine Lobster will roll into the Civic Center complex and serve up tasty treats starting at 11:30. Lobster tacos, lobster quesadillas, lobster grilled cheese. So much to choose from. on the menu. You're watching The Splash Live, a show dedicated to all things West Bloomfield, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and Orchard Lake. And you can catch the show live Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. until 10, and on demand on CivicCenterTV.com. We'll speak with the Keego Harbor Chief of Police next here on the show.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
You know, it's peaceful, it's quiet, and the noise and stress of life can sometimes disappear.
It's the Great Lakes water, and so what people do ends up in our waterways.
It's for our health and safety, it's for our economy, it's for protecting the environment that we all enjoy and we all need to survive.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
We're all about one water in this region. We're all connected. We all have a role.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
It is the first official day of summer, but for boaters, the summer season started weeks ago. It has already been crazy out on Cass Lake. With us this morning, Chief John Fitzgerald from the Keego Harbor Police Department. Good morning, Chief. How are you?
Good morning, Ronnie. I'm great. How about yourself?
Good. I was out last weekend, and I think it was even during the middle of the week, and I was like, whoa, it's going to be crazy again this year.
Well, it's the boaters are out there. We've seen a lot of activity on the sandbar that borders Keego Harbor. A good thing is this year we've teamed up with the Sheriff's Department, and we've brought them in to help pick up our boat patrol out there for the safety of everybody out there. Things were just getting a little out of control. So you might have noticed more Sheriff's Department boats on the lake and around the Keego Harbor sandbar than you've ever seen before, and some supporting help on the shore for them. So they're out there for the safety of everybody, and they are enforcing the rules that are out there.
And because with that too, we know that it's okay, we want people to go out and have fun, but sometimes you feel like if you have little kids, it's not so kid-friendly some days. I'm trying to be nice about the way I phrase that.
You're correct. It's almost like should be a family area and another area, but it kind of mixes in over there. We've seen some of the boat activity move over towards Marshbank Park. I think there's a little more over by Dodge Park than in the recent couple of years. But the thing is to be considerate about everybody else that's around you out there. The same goes with your music. If you want to crank your music up, there's a ordinance that it can only be heard 100 feet away. And think about it, if you're in your backyard and your neighbor's in his backyard right behind you and they turn their speakers towards your house and just start cranking music, that's not very polite, neighborly. Well, it's the same thing on the lake out there. You're blasting out people that want to just relax on their boats, or the people that live on the shore. So there's the music ordinance. And, you know, we don't want to be the fun governors and take away all your fun, but we want to be safe and relaxing for everybody that's out there to try and enjoy the lake.
Can you also talk a little bit, because I have been seeing a few more like kayaks and paddle boards. I know that some people think if they have a paddleboard or a kayak, they don't have to still have, you know, life jackets and some of the other safety things.
Well, I would always have a life jacket on. Paddleboards, kayaks, canoes. You never know when you're going to go in. Even my wife tells me she wants me to wear mine when I'm out kayaking, even though I have it strapped right in front of me. But she's got a very good point, and it's for your own safety to have that with you.
Yeah, I do put mine on the front of my board, but it does match. Everything matches. My life jacket matches my board, matches my waterproof speaker, matches my water bottle. So
I'm sure it does. I haven't seen you out there yet, but I'm sure it does.
I know. I've been going out to Sylvan Lake a lot because Cass gets a little crazy for me. I'm not that good yet.
I think Cass is a since it's a bigger lake, more boats on it, things go a little bit faster. I believe there's more marinas and more traffic that comes in that doesn't reside on the lake than on Sylvan Lake. So I think you get some more people that they rent the boats, and they don't know all the rules, and they don't necessarily follow them all the time. And Sylvan Lake might be a little more peaceful to kayak and paddleboard on.
You know, Chief, I always have the one question. Where is everyone going to the bathroom? But we don't have to get into that one either.
I don't even want to answer that one, but I'm not stepping in the water.
Right. So do you want to remind people too, because even for us that live over in the area, parking can be an issue. And I know that, you know, people want to go and they want to have fun, but because it is the sandbar, it's easy to kind of park and walk and meet your friends out on the lake. But parking is always a problem.
And that's always the case in Keego Harbor. It's a very tough city for parking for events at your own house or events on the lake. There's a couple of places that you can park, like Roosevelt School. That's a kind of a public parking lot. But the businesses around there often are posted as towaway zones. So if you leave your car in a business lot, they're likely to call the tow truck, and it's not the police department doing it. It's a private business that has a right to the parking in their parking lot. Also, all the streets in Keego Harbor are no parking. You can't park on the streets. If you're a resident, you can call the police department a couple days ahead if you're having a special event, and a couple times a year, we can give you a pass to allow extra parking on the street, but the parkers have to follow the rules we set out of parking on one side of the road, not blocking driveways, fire hydrants, mailboxes, and we have to have a phone number for somebody to call. They give us a phone number. We can call them if there is a parking issue or if we have to get a fire truck through or something. So we try and work with our residents, but not every resident can have a party every weekend and expect to park on the streets, because then there'd be no room for anybody. And like I said, we're trying to work with them, follow the rules. We don't want to see somebody come back from the lake and, where's my car? Oh, it's been towed out of the parking lot of this business because it wasn't supposed to be there, or it's got a hefty ticket on it for parking on the street when it's not supposed to be. And same kind of thing for the fireworks coming up with Cass Lake and Sylvan Lake having their fireworks. We only have 2 small public parks in Keego Harbor to watch the fireworks from, and it's pretty much a walk-up kind of thing. There is no parking anywhere near those 2 parks, and they pretty much fill up with residents walking to the park. And the Sylvan Lake fireworks, pretty much the same, and I believe Sylvan Lake has no parking on their streets during the fireworks either.
Yeah, and it's already getting a little active with the fireworks, you know, on the lake times. So with that too, any words of safety precaution that you want to share with people?
Well, it's really 3 things. There's safety, consideration, and legality. Consumer fireworks are not allowed until Wednesday, June 29th. And then from Wednesday, June 29th through Monday, July 4th, they can be used from 11 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. each day. That's the only time in the middle of the summer you can use the fireworks. You can't start using them now, or you can get a ticket for it. Consider their safety. Follow the directions on the packaging. Follow your common sense. The law states that you cannot use fireworks if you're intoxicated or under the influence of a controlled substance. It's common sense. Once again, we don't want to see anybody getting hurt. And remember, if fireworks you're using cause damage, such as to a neighbor's house or car, you'll be civilly and possibly legally responsible for that. And if you injure somebody with your fireworks, you're going to be responsible for that. And, you know, we don't want to be the big duds for all of the 4th of July fun and celebrations, but also consideration for your neighbors. I mean, if you know you have a neighbor that has PTSD, or you know they can't stand the fireworks, maybe go somewhere else with other friends. But also, you got to remember that you can't use them on streets, right-of-ways, public property, schools, churches, or private property without the express written consent of the owner of that property. So you can't just walk over to the neighborhood school and start lighting them off at Roosevelt. Maybe you have a neighbor someplace else in another city that's got a little more room. You can use them there. But legally, June 29th through July 1st, 11 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. Just use as much safety as possible and consideration for others. And that's pretty much it on the fireworks.
So with that, when you say people can be ticketed, is that a misdemeanor?
You know what? I'm sorry, I'd have to check on that one. I believe it is.
That's okay. That's okay. That's my rule in life. It's okay if it's a misdemeanor. You just never want a felony.
Never want a felony, but you don't want a misdemeanor either. It takes all the fun out of the summer and having to pay that fine.
So, Chief, anything else going on in Keego? It's been nice to have Cass Lake reopen, although I know it's going to be closing at the end of the summer.
Yeah, we're going to have a little traffic back up. Hopefully everybody learned the first time when that road closed that it's a 2.5 mile round trip if you drive all the way down to the closed section and have to come all the way back because there's no sides. It's one of those areas where there's no side roads that will cut through and go around that the way we're locked in between the two lakes. There's a fun event coming up. It's going to be, I believe it's the third Friday in July. The Keego Block Party behind the City Hall here. They had one just last week with, it's going to be the third Thursday of June, which is done July and August. A food truck, a band, trivia games, and some other games out there. A nice chance to meet some of your neighbors, walk on over to the park and have a good time with the band playing. Fireworks, and just be safe all this summer. Be considerate of your neighbors. Be considerate of your neighbors on the lake and the safety of your fellow boaters.
So, Chief, you know me. I think we're putting the cool back in Keego.
It is. It's kind of cool, and they're starting with new steps of bringing people back around City Hall. They used to have the skate night, which is no more, but they're working on getting this block party thing building up. Parks and Rec is doing a good job with that.
Yeah, I think that is such a great thing that they're doing because it makes it family friendly and we don't have to go to Sylvan Lake.
That's true.
Well, Chief, it's so good talking to you, and a happy summer, and maybe I'll see you out on the water. Okay, and safe paddle boarding to you. Enjoy the water, enjoy the weather, and as they say, today's the longest day of the year. Actually, the most sunlight of the year. They're all the same length, but the longest sunlit day of the year. Enjoy it, and everybody be safe out there. Thank you. Yes, and stay cool. It's going to be a hot one. Oh, boy. Thank you so much, Chief. Have a great day, Ronnie. Thanks. I love our little town. We are cool. See, cool. Keego, cool. KK. That's going to do it for today's edition of The Splash Live. I want to say thank you to our guests for taking time to be with us. As well, thank you to you, our friends in Sylvan Lake, Keego Harbor, Orchard Lake, and West Bloomfield for tuning in. And in case you didn't know, you can also catch The Splash Live on My Michigan TV, a new streaming service dedicated to telling stories about the people and places across the Mitten State. Download the app for free on your smartphone or smart TV. Happy day, everyone. Stay cool out there.
To Sophia and Gabriel, even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful